So, and he knows that about himself too. I can see that verse, so he knows that. So this person, they're at odds with each other, and she's fighting to get him off the label. And it's not going. Everyone, welcome to Not Like Time. My name is Holly. So grateful to have you all. Let's get into this reading. I am doing 2024 predictions for the end of the year. So I will not be doing lives until the end of the year, till next year. But I will be replacing these. We'll be replacing the lives with these. I'll be doing 4 a week. It's a long video, so stay tuned. I'm also doing a holiday raffle, so stay tuned for that. I will post about it in the community tab. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And yeah, let's get into it. So I'm starting off with overall energy. Then I will do career, and then I will do love. So this is about Zayn Malik. And yeah, let's get into it. So as I was shuffling the energy, I got a lot of music, very music driven year. And I did say that he would have drips and drabs of new music in 2023, but I see 2024 is going to be definitely, I see an album. 100% I see an album coming out. I think the album got postponed because it didn't get that good press, excuse me. And I did say in my former predictions that he's going to see how things are going to play out with those 1 or 2 songs, and then drag it out depending, because it is, like I always say, music is run like a business. Every industry is a business, and he needs to make sure it does well in order to sustain his career. That's something Capricorns are very, very good at. His sun is in Capricorn. Sun and Capricorns, they teach me, honestly. They teach me. I had an ex who was a sun in Capricorn, and he taught me a lot about business and thinking logically. And I think that is definitely their superpower. They're very good at being analytical of things and situations and trajectories when it comes to money. So with 2 of Wands, Ace of Cups, and 5 of Pentacles. So I see that his record label might consider dropping him. If he doesn't, I think that they've gone back and forth, they've disagreed a lot. I see specifically there's a woman who might be the head of the record label. I think he might be Sony, I don't know that for sure, but I get Sony and I get a woman. And I think there's somebody on that team, or it might be his management team, but I see somebody on his music team they're not seeing eye to eye. I've actually picked this up before. I think Zayn struggles with, and this is not anything bad about him, I think that his mother is just very passive and subdued. So he doesn't do well with women that are overbearing, if that makes any sense, like Yolanda type people. And I see this woman that he's struggling with when it comes to career being a Yolanda type person. Yolanda, his ex-girlfriend's mother. I see that he doesn't do well with it. It kind of like infuriates him, and it sends him into a frenzy. He becomes a different person when he deals with these kind of people. So, and he knows that about himself too. I can see that verse, so he knows that. So this person, they're at odds with each other, and she's fighting to get him off the label. And it's not going to work though. He's going to fight for himself. Page of Wands, he's going to fight for himself. And I think actually the woman might leave. But they're definitely back and forth. And 6 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. There is somebody, however, who is on this label that has his back and wants to give him advice. I did picture that person before. I don't know if you guys remember, if you have watched my videos for a while. I did say there's a man and there's an older figure man who wants him to do well, but has advice for him that he doesn't always take, but I think he should. So let's get into career, even though I've already touched on career. That was just the energy that I picked up on 2024 in general. So I do see a new album, 100% coming out, 100%. I get August, September. But he's taking his time. The reason why he's taking his time is because he doesn't want bad press. You know, the media are like vultures sometimes. Is that, and we've seen that from Britney Spears. We've seen it from Gigi. We've seen it from different situations with particular celebrities, that once you've been seen in a negative light or like a mentally ill light, unfortunately, Kanye West, they will run with everything they can because they know people eat it up. So he's just waiting for that to die down, and then he will release his album from a neutral standpoint. So let's see, career. So August, September, I see music coming out, an album coming out. For all you Zayn fans. No, you don't have to worry any longer. Okay, so interesting. Very interesting. So I see this album, and I have said this before, being like grungy. I did say the song that came out is going to be like Artful Dodger. You know, if you guys know, if you're familiar with British music, especially garage music, Artful Dodger is this like garage. Garage is a derivative of house music. It's so fun. I miss England sometimes a lot, like a lot. Especially British music. Yeah, I just got a little emotional. But something that I miss is like that grungy. It's kind of like bass nectar music, you know? Is that dubstep? Excuse me, not bass nectar. Dubstep. Bass nectar is a form of dubstep, but dubstep is that like grungy, heavy bass type house, and he's going to be taking that route. Some of it, however, is going to be like soft rock, but I see the cover being like black and white and showing his like imperfections. I think when he comes out, he's going to be very honest, especially Bottom of the Deck being the lovers, about his love for Gigi. I strongly believe he still loves Gigi. I think that he's never experienced a love like that. I don't think he will experience a love like that. And this album is going to kind of be, I wouldn't say an ode to her, but reminding her of when it was nice, you know. And I was telling a friend, a good friend of mine, we're talking about, it was one of my ex's birthdays recently, and I just remember like all the songs he wrote for us and like our relationship, and I was listening to a few of the songs, and I just thought, you know, it's such a beautiful thing when you can connect to somebody with music, through music. And there's no, when you can come from such a pure place and share that with somebody, it's a very, very beautiful thing. And there doesn't have to be any hard feelings or hate or animosity, you know. And I think that's how he feels. 4 of Cups, 7 of Swords, and Queen of Cups. I definitely feel like even though he watches her, he does feel like he messed up, and we're going to hear about that, you know. I think he watches her with the, is it daughter? I forgot if it's daughter or son, but watches them with a child and is just in awe of what a great mother she is. Queen of Cups, you know, how mature she is. He's going to say that in the song. He's going to really have tributes to her in the world. He's going to be like, you know, you came into my life for a reason, and basically like tell her she embodies an angelic spirit. He knows she's wonderful. He knows all these things. He just wishes she would get out of, and he will say this in the music, get out of this role she has to be for her family. So let's move on to love. I feel like I already touched on that a bit, and I have said this, I strongly feel like Gigi and Zayn will get back together. It's just a matter of time, and we don't have to force it. It will happen naturally. I think it's one of those things that's just destined to be. But let's see 2024 love with Zayn Malik. Okay, so with 6 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, and the Devil, lots of eyes on him. I did say, especially with the Devil card, that he really needs to watch out for, and he knows this, he's very perceptive, very mature, very perceptive, very insightful person. And he can see through people. I've said this before. I think because he can see through people so much, he has a hard time working with certain people. Like, once he sees somebody's shadow side, he's like, okay, I need to distance myself from this person because they're only going to bring me down, you know? But even though he has that side, right now, he's not, especially with the Eight of Pentacles, he's not focused on people's negative aspects. He just wants to create good music. I think he's gotten to the point in his life, his career, his personal life, where he just wants to be the light, you know? And be a source of hope for people, be a source of goodness, of kindness, of strength that he wishes he had had throughout these past few years. And I think, especially with the media wanting to paint him as somebody bad, he really wants to prove to himself and other people that he's not this bad person. So I see a lot of his 2024 love journey being self-love. Self-love, healing, growth, being light. And with the Tower, surprisingly enough, because the Tower is about a surprise, then something comes into his life. The bottom deck being Nine of Swords. However, I don't think... You see, this is what I think has been going on. I think Gigi has been dating. He hasn't. He's been focusing on his love. But when he starts to date, which I see him doing, that's when she's going to get upset. That's when she's going to be like, which is often the case, I feel like. Often the case. She's going to be like, well, that's the father of my child. Eight of Swords, Death of Rebirth, Hangman. That's the father of my child. And he's going to set some boundaries of like, we are not meant to be together, and she's not going to deal with that well. And then that's when she's going to feel more feelings for him. Ace of Cups and Five of Pentacles. So that's what I have for you all. I love to have to say. Please be respectful, as I always say. I love you all. Take care.